Well, CNN was once the iconic television news channel that everyone wanted to watch, that news people wanted to work for. I mean, I would have loved to work back in the day. I would have loved to work for them. Not now. And not only are a lot of journalists now not wanting to work for them, but a lot of viewers don't want to watch them. They have been in downfall this past year, plagued by layoffs. Their leader, Jeff Zucker, ousted, and one CNN whistleblower, he witnessed this before it happened. He saw it coming, and he actually recorded what was going on in his newsroom. And now he has a new book out exposing the downfall of this most iconic news outlet. Carrie Porch is going to join my show today. Real quick before I bring him right on, shout out to the sponsor of my coverage, Noble Gold Investments, is pleased to let you know that gold is the best investment class of 2022. Real estate, crypto, stocks, and bonds, gold outperformed all of them in 2022. So what are you waiting for? Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of clients buy real physical gold. Open a gold or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and receive a free quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualifying IRA of $50,000. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments and their thousands of five-star reviews. If you're not ready to invest, download the Noble Gold Investment Gold Guide, link down in my description. Hit that more button if you're on your phone, and you can get ivoryheckergold.com to get that gold guide and learn how to protect your money. With that being said, let's bring on Carrie Porch. Carrie, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, Ivory, thank you so much for having me. Been a hot minute, hasn't it, since we've seen each other?
I know. Yes. So after I blew the whistle on Fox, I got to meet you, who, blazed the trail for me, I guess, by first blowing the whistle on CNN. And now we have your new book. I got to show the audience. This was CNN: How Sex, Lies, and Spies Undid the World's Worst News Network. Congrats on this book.
Hey, much appreciated, Ivory. And that's all you and I are doing. We're part of a cool little fraternity, and we're building it bigger and bigger as we go. Many people have come to me saying they watched your story just as they watched mine. So thank you for what you did as well. I mean, we met that day, and then we out of nowhere flew to Tim Pool's house for his show that night. It was a wild whirlwind ride for you as well. But yeah, here we are. So let's get the party started, right?
Exactly. Let's get into it. You saw how compromised CNN was before a lot of CNN viewers noticed it was compromised. The crazy thing is CNN's ratings have been going down. Their own viewers who used to like them, they're becoming too obvious now. So dive into your story and what you witnessed on the inside there.
Sure. For the 30,000 foot view for people that may be just joining us, it was 3 years ago. But long story short, I came to CNN summer of 2017 as a registered Democrat. I campaigned for Bernie. That's kind of where I was at. And I got the job at CNN, really happy to go, where real news is and, speak truth to power like you did at Fox and everything. And, I went there to take down Trump and, keep him honest, so to speak. But even from the get-go, within a few weeks, my first job was boots on ground in Charlottesville after the riots happened at the University of Virginia. And even though I was not a fan of Trump and Republicans in general, I saw the then president, say they're good people on both sides, but not the neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and they should be disavowed totally. Like, I saw that boots on ground, but what did I see when I got back to the office? It's the whole good people on both sides cut. The fallacy that even Joe Biden put on his coming out campaign ad is those missing extra 3 seconds of very powerful context. And I just started to notice things like that over and over. And it was a really hard thing for me to stomach and swallow, that this great, venerable news network that I grew up loving is not quite what it seemed to be. And the more and more I dug and the deeper and deeper I pulled on that thread, the more and more I found, and I literally had my own Matrix moment. It's overplayed and cliche, but it truly is. I had a choice to make. Do I want to take the red pill and really see how deep the rabbit hole goes? Or do I want to stick my head back in the sand and just do business as usual? Now, as we both know, you and I both are cut from the same cloth. We couldn't sit back idly and see our beloved, news networks themselves just go on business as usual. So I reached out to James O'Keefe when I saw him at CPAC in 2019. Got to talk to him, and after a few back and forths, he gave me some cameras to wear each day, And within 6 to 7 months of recording, we had enough to go to air talking about Jeff Zucker himself and all the his lieutenants talking about, hey, we don't care what actual good news is going on in the world. We want to stick with Trump, or this will paint Trump and Republicans in a bad light. And, Fox News is this, that, they're damaging to the American psyche. So all these things I got to hear, not from just low level people, but from the people at the top. And then we had enough to go to air, and we did in October of 2019. Starting a firestorm. I eventually got fired actually that day, and then we came down to move to Florida to escape it. And then fast forward 3 years, and now CNN is kind of sadly in a death spiral. They're just grasping for air. They're even having to hire Bill Maher to come on and do like an equivalent to a Greg Gutfeld, like late night comedy show to keep them from going under. And it's a really interesting place to see what's going to happen from here.
Yeah, Fox News just came out with this article, CNN plagued by layoffs, infighting, ratings woes 1 year after ex-boss Jeff Zucker's shock ousting. So they're trying to like genuinely be more fair and balanced now after their bias got so extreme. And that's with their new boss, CEO Chris Licht now, who's taken over for Jeff Zucker. Did you ever meet Chris Licht, or what do you know about him?
No, Chris came a long time after I departed the network. He and Discovery and those executives, they purchased the network, less than a year ago, I believe. You'll have to fact check me on that, but fairly recently in the grand scheme of things. I met Jeff Zucker in passing one day at a town hall when Van Jones was doing his Friday night thing. I bumped into him, met him. But that was my only interaction with Zucker, aside from the 9 a.m. rundown meetings that I got to, walk myself into on the phone and record those. So the cool part about, and I don't know what it was like at Fox where you were at, but it was very cross-pollinated. Even though I was kind of a low guy on the totem pole, we got to work and interact and confer with people from all over the business, from engineering to editing. I mean, Wolf Blitzer Studio was like 30 yards from my desk. We could walk in and say hi, as long as we weren't on air or anything. But it was very open and open beehive type of concept, and everybody knew everybody. And that's how I was able to get the content that I did in those 5 to 6 months leading up to my story.
Yes, I remember you had audio of one of the top correspondents talking about how it was actually video. He's on camera. He's talking about how oh yeah, the way that, basically the Hunter Biden corruption with Joe Biden. How can we say that Trump is the bad guy when Joe Biden has all this corruption in his background? He's literally saying that off air, but then on air, it's a totally different story. Why was the company doing that? Because they apparently agree with people on the right.
Oh, they do, and it's a wild ride, Ivory. And I do want to kind of give credit where it's due. I believe the one you're talking about is the second or third CNN insider after me. That's their story, but it's a good problem to have where so many people are coming forward now from within CNN and other companies. But yes, these are the things that people say in private, but not in public, and that's what Project Veritas is very good at, is getting people to on camera saying the quiet parts out loud. But yeah, it's insane. I mean, obviously, I can only speculate. I didn't get all of that on tape, but I mean, if you're a on air personality and you're getting a high 6 to low 7-figure income, you pretty much, when they say jump, you say how high, and that's my only speculation, is they just didn't want to lose that fat paycheck living in DC or New York City.
Wow. Well, yeah, they're jumping as high as the compromised company wants them to. And it's actually, they're committing their own suicide, by doing this, it appears.
Yep. And that's the thing.
I was just going to add that they even tried CNN Plus because Fox Nation was doing so well. Fox Nation is the online streaming version of Fox News. So CNN said, let's try it too. CNN Plus doesn't even last a month. There's already so much left-wing propaganda out there. Why do people want to pay for it with CNN Plus?
Well, right, especially when it's going to be, I think they opened it up at $5 or $6 a month. And then when they were only getting 5 to 10,000 subscribers, they cut it in half. And I mean, from my understanding, and what one of your viewers I had to fact check, they sunk about $300 million into that program, and it flopped within what 28, 29 days. That was the popular meme going around like that. But one of the many things I love about my book and Kent's book is Kent's a fantastic writer, done a few of the PV whistleblowers, but he actually uncovered. We basically kind of wove two storylines into one storyline, and it worked out really well. So, from my story about recording Zucker and some of the higher ups about the bias. And then he and his team actually uncovered like dozens of former and current actual intelligence officers from all over the alphabet soup in DC, from CIA to, let's say DNI or some other groups that were either former or current intel officers that were either currently employed now at CNN or have in the past. And the craziest part, Ivory, and this is all, most of it is public knowledge, that these people would literally put on their LinkedIn former intelligence officer at XYZ agency or military intelligence at this particular branch. Like, these people would literally put it on their LinkedIn full public profile. And then where do they go from their intelligence agencies? Like, they from January to December, and then from the next January at CNN. It's incredible that it actually lends credence, even more credence than's already there, to the whole Project Mockingbird thing. Like, it's an open secret, apparently, that it's this revolving door of intelligence officers going into mainstream media, then going back into intel or government or K Street or something like that. And it's just one hand is washing the other and crafting the narratives that the bulk of Americans, they see the CNN chyrons at the bottom and they just take it as gospel. Like, it must be true. It's on my TV. And it's a very sad state of affairs. And that's why you and I did what we did. And we're hoping to bring other people on board to really say, hey, look at your news with a critical eye, even the ones you trust. We need to teach our people to look with a critical eye and critical ear, take the information in and make our own decisions. That's the main reason I did what I did, Ivory. Like, I don't want CNN to fail. Like, I want them to return to, as you put it earlier, their greatness in like the 80s and 90s. Like, I want them to return to that era of like, here's the news. If it's on TV, it literally is gospel, because if it's wrong, someone's getting fired.
It's fascinating that you talked about CNN selectively editing Trump, and then Project Veritas, who told the story of CNN's selective editing, is the one who gets called the selective editor. So the propaganda continues to try to just confuse everybody. Well, the media told me Project Veritas selectively edits, so I guess I'm just going to believe that. And really, it's CNN who's doing the selective editing. But people aren't dumb, and I think more and more people are thinking for themselves. And that included you, and now a lot of CNN's viewers who have ditched them. So you think it was CNN who red pilled you? How many viewers do you think they're red pilling?
Well, it is kind of ironic. I love it that when people ask me, like, how did I go from campaigning for Bernie in 16 to, and I'll disclose where I'm at, from campaigning for Bernie in 2016 to voting for Trump in 2020. And I say, I thank God every day for my job at CNN, being inside of the belly of the beast and seeing how news is actually manufactured, not reported. That was the greatest gift that I could have ever been given myself, because I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes backstage and seeing what they do on the cutting room floor. I mean, think about it. That speech, going back to Charlottesville, like, he literally, paraphrasing, of course, but say, there are good people on both sides, but not the neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and these guys, they should be disavowed totally, bad impression. But that's what he said. And even though I didn't like Trump at the time, I was like, hey, that's actually a very fair speech. Bravo, credit where it's due. Then when I get home to the office, I see those missing about 3.5 seconds, which are such powerful context. Like, he literally disavowed, the bad people there, but they cut that part out. Like, that to me that was the start of my journey, and it was extremely rapid in comparison, like very compounded. Like I think what was that, the summer, like June, July, or August or something like that. And within a good 6 to 8 months, I started consuming all types of other content that I could. And that's what eventually led me to find James O'Keefe at the CPAC in 2019 and just have a conversation. I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I knew is that I need to have a conversation with this man. And again, 6, 7 months later, the rest is history. And again, I applaud you. You did the same thing at Fox. Like you loved, I remember you loved, that was your dream job. But you saw some stuff and you had some compelling evidences and interviews regarding the disease, which we can't mention on air still. And you did what you needed to do. So I always give you props as well. You and I both are in, and April, we're the news people that kind of did not toe the party line, and we did what we did, and here we are.
Right. Yeah, it was great to connect with you that day after the day after I blew the whistle. You were a brand new employee at Project Veritas. They ended up hiring you. Do you still work for them?
First day. I do not. I left last summer. Just it was an amazing job. Like I love the people. I love the mission, obviously. But it is very tough, especially on someone with a young family. And I have a almost 3-year-old daughter right now. So no bad blood either way. I still travel and speak and recruit with them from time to time. Love the mission. I send people there. But yeah, I just left to focus and get like a more quote unquote normal job where I could be at home more with my daughter. So a lot of great people there, as you know. It's a circus. That's the best way I describe being there. It's a circus in good and bad ways. So, but yeah, I just
Yeah,
got a normal nine to
anything in
five right now,
journalism is
and
crazy
love it.
hours. What's that?
Yep. So mad respect to you. Mad respect to you with your golden microphone, akin to excellence in broadcasting with Rush. And yeah, I just have a normal 9 to 5 right now, where I get to spend more time with my little one. And that's a choice I made, and you're killing it in this space. So please keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And where can people get your book?
Yeah, great question, and thank you so much. And that's a great photo you got. We went back and forth a few times, the artists and stuff. We came out with that. It is available on both Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Trust me, I know some people may like one over the other for obvious reasons. But if you just search the title, "This Was CNN," on either Barnes and Noble or Amazon, it'll be the first one to pop up, and you'll get your copy. Apparently the shipping is very fast. People get it within 2 to 3 days. And if and when you guys see me at any of the functions, please bring your book up. I'm usually hanging out with the Project Veritas people. I would love to and be honored to sign it for you, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Carrie. And I'm linking your social media below as well so that people can follow along with you. Great talking with you.
Ivor, you're the best. Take care, and please keep doing the amazing work you're doing. And if you haven't already subscribed to Ivory, subscribe to her, give her a Patreon or a donation, keep her in the field doing the great hard-hitting journalism that she is as well.
Thank you, Carrie. All right. Keep in touch. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.